Welcome, everyone, to the Omniverse of Nick. Now, today's episode, first off, before we get into that, I hope you guys enjoy the new and improved version of this channel, because I, for one, love the frick out of it. It has taken 2 years, but the name and everything this channel stands for is changing for good. And I really hope that you guys are looking forward to the future of this channel. But now, we're going to get into today's episode where Abraham and Rosita have just entered Terminus territory, looking for Eugene, who is kidnapped by the hospital people. And we're going to see how it plays out. So, they have just looked and saw the building where Terminus is, and now Abraham and Rosita focus their efforts squarely on Martin to question him. But, of course, because he has no idea who they are or Eugene is or anything, because this time they really don't have anything to do with the groups, you know? Like they did in most of my stories, but you get the point. Martin, when questioned and held at gunpoint, he doesn't know what they're talking about or anything like that, but Martin, being Martin, says very, smugly and ruthlessly that even if he knew who this person or these people were, Terminus wouldn't have been as friendly to them as they might think. Not realizing that Abraham and Rosita didn't even pay attention to the signs. And Abraham's not taking the smug and idiotic attitude of Martin lightly, so in retaliation, he promptly takes the sledgehammer that he was gifted to by Michonne and promptly smashes Martin's freaking skull in. So, yeah, Abraham's not going to be a Tyrese in this situation. And now, Abraham is more than ready and more than willing to go down to Terminus and give everyone there the same lesson, not understanding that Eugene might not just be down there. And Rosita picks up on this, like the car had a cross and nothing here seems to represent some kind of religion or anything. It just seems like a plain building or anything. It just doesn't seem, these people seem ruthless, but they don't seem tied to that car with the cross. He's not here. And Abraham is just angry at Rosita at this point because she's been disagreeing with him and arguing with him since they left Woodbury. And it's like, do you even care about Eugene or what we're doing? And he even asks her that. Do you care about saving the world and making it better and doing this, that, and the other thing? You've been fighting me this entire time. I have to ask if you actually care about me or saving the world. And Rosita says, of course she does. And she can't believe that Abraham would think like that. She's saying that they shouldn't... He's not here. Plain and simple. He's not here. Look at the facts. Look at what is in front of them. This doesn't have anything to do with what they're looking for or doing. These people are on their own path. And who cares about them? If they're going to go down there or keep looking, fine. But they need to look around the area first before going down there and just possibly getting themselves killed. Who knows what's down there? So they need to avoid going down there, considering how ruthless this guy was. Go around the area, see if they could pick up something, and then they go down. If they find a different kind of trail, they'll ignore that place entirely. But going down there straight forward is a bad freaking move. Abraham, he has no choice but to agree on this. Because Rosita, she kind of makes a compelling point. Like, not so much that he still believes that Eugene could still possibly not be down there, but because of looking around first instead of going down like head first and getting themselves killed. And luckily, they do find something near the area. Father Gabriel's church. Meanwhile, at Grady Memorial Hospital, a certain scientist Eugene is getting a similar visit like Beth did with Dawn and the hospital people while all this is going on. So take that into your heads for a sec, that all this is going on without Rick or anybody else. They're still all at Woodbury. Like I said, we'd be featuring them for Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene for the next few episodes mainly. But we will touch upon them in the soon here. I'm not going to say too much. But once Rosita and Abraham see the church, Rosita smiles, saying that they might have just found their guy. They bust open Father Gabriel's church's doors. Abraham first cocks his gun, and they both see that it's just one man, Father Gabriel. Because remember, this is still around season 4 territory, so they're not even Father Gabriel wouldn't be out at this point. And he doesn't know what to think of this, who these people are, and when he's questioned about the car with the cross, Eugene saving the world, he doesn't know anything. And Rosita, this time, she's not the one who's going to defend the situation. She actually does not buy a word of what Gabriel is saying. So she's siding with Abraham in this situation and says, it's way too coincidental. The church, the car with the cross, it's just too coincidental for this place not to have their guy. And she knows that, but's not willing to push anything if he's actually telling the truth. But Abraham, he isn't going to be as nice, and she suggests that Gabriel tell them what's really going on here. But Gabriel says, honest to God, and he would be honest to God because he's a freaking, he's a priest, so obviously he would be honest to God in this situation, saying that he has absolutely no idea who Eugene is, what they're talking about, or what this car with the cross means. And he's not left his church since this whole thing began. He has no recollection of meeting up with anybody until these two bursted in and started saying all this stuff. He has no idea what they mean or what they're talking about or anything. Abraham finally believes him and everything, and so does Rosita, and says that if he has nothing to do with that car with the cross, and he really hasn't seen or heard of anybody, even that town down there, which they bring up, Terminus, then what could that car with the cross be? Where could it have been? Where is it? Gabriel says he really doesn't know the answer to that question either. But he has heard of a place like that, and just never been there, in Atlanta, called Grady Memorial. I think Gabriel would know about it, but he would have obviously never been there, I don't think. And Rosita's great, it's just a hunch. And Gabriel says that even so, he will try to help them find it, and he knows it's in Atlanta, but he doesn't feel the safest going out there and everything, so he's just going more or less to help them against his better judgment. And before they're about to leave, they're surrounded by officers, cornering them at the doors of Father Gabriel's church. Two at first, this of which being Amanda Shepherd and Bob, and then several others stepping out. And Abraham's like, we ain't dropping our weapons. And he gives them all three choices, being a soldier, obviously. Tell them how to get to Grady Memorial, and if they are from there, tell them where Eugene is, or things are gonna get real ugly real fast. But before things do escalate or anything happens, Abraham hears a voice telling him to calm the situation and just stop what he's doing, and this is Dawn. She says she is the leader of these officers, and they all are from Grady Memorial. And they have come here because they have a certain someone that a certain Abraham and Rosita would like to see. Eugene steps out from behind Dawn and tells Abraham and Rosita to calm down, drop their guns, and that everything is fine. And this is going to definitely take them by surprise, Abraham and Rosita, Because, for one thing, they didn't even have to go through the work of finding Eugene in the first place at this Grady Memorial. They came and somehow found them, and Eugene's telling them to calm down, and these guys are supposedly not bad, and they want an explanation. Eugene says that sure, yeah, he was kidnapped, but after telling Dawn and them about the mission and going to Washington and stuff, Dawn and them actually left the hospital. Eugene told them the best way to locate Abraham and Rosita. It was based on a hunch, and that Dawn and them were going to join them on their journey to Washington and actually help them get there. So Eugene says that's why they shouldn't shoot each other. Now they got extra help. They don't even gotta go back to Woodbury now to get those people. Now they have Dawn and these officers who literally abandoned a good hospital just so that way they could go to Washington. And Dawn says as much as it hurt her to do that, as well as the officers, honestly, this would be a game changer for Dawn, Eugene being kidnapped instead, because she would see that the world saving it, even though Eugene's clearly lying, the world matters more than her pride. And remember, she was waiting for someone to come get them and fix the world, and luck would have it in this story, Eugene, liar, is there. So that's why her and her officers are joining. And now, as all of them are about to reconvene and eventually leave, they are all told straight after this exposition by an unexpected group and unfamiliar group to them to put their weapons down. This is Gareth and the Terminus cannibals. Now, how did they find Abraham and them without Martin? How did they even know that Abraham and Rosita were there? Did Martin's death have something to do with it? What do you think's going to happen now that there's a standoff between Abraham, Rosita, Gabriel, Dawn and the officers, and the cannibals? And how do you think it will all center back into either going to Washington or Rick and their people and Merle back at Woodbury? How do you think the future of the story is going to go from here? Leave your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time.